What's up, guys? It's your boy Jordan back here with another video. In today's video, I'm back here with the Minecraft, yap session while we play Minecraft and just overall have conversations with each other. My bad if I'm a little bit down. I'm very tired. It's like 2 a.m. in the morning. I've been reading a whole bunch of papers all day, some other stuff, but hey, we're here today to be able to play Minecraft, to be able to have a great time, and just to be able to talk about life. So, what you see on my screen is I might have died in my last world. I'm gonna go ahead and show the clip right now. Hey, he led me to some iron though. Oh my gosh. I suck. But yeah, so I pretty much died as y'all can see from the clip. So I have to pretty much start all the way over, right? Since I have to start all the way over, we're just, gonna lock in this time and ensure that those mistakes won't happen again. And as I said in the previous episode, we will be doing hardcore because I love me a little challenge, you know what I mean? Gotta be able to challenge myself, gotta be able to, get to the department of life. So, also, I'm on a new monitor. I got me a nice 500 hertz monitor. I'm trying to get into the I don't have enough. Place this back, place that back. But yeah, I'm trying to get back into the scheme of things, get everything to how it's supposed to be. Because how we ended last episode, we had diamonds, we had everything that we needed. Everything was just we were in such a great predicament. So, trying to be able to see where we're going to start at this time. Looks like we got a little cave, but it's not like crazy enough for me. Alright, we're in the water. Okay. Looks like we're on an island of some sorts, which isn't bad, you know what I mean? But it's interesting that we're on this island. Also, guys, as we talked about in the last episode, what we'll be talking about in today's episode is my love life. So, y'all go ahead, stay strapped. Go ahead and let's prepare for this conversation. I want to be able to provide some type of disclaimer too. Just the instance that, again, if I say females, as y'all know, that's what I like. So I don't want people to be like, "Oh, Jordan's misogynistic, this, that, and the other." No, again, I'm coming from my own perception of life, how I view things, and again, being able to just have input on it, or you can agree or disagree. That's besides the point. I just want to be able to delineate who I am to my audience a lot more, and I think a great way to do it is through the way that I'm doing it now. So let's go ahead and get into it because another thing I want to be able to say, I don't think I'm going to be recording 45-minute videos, you know what I mean? I think I'm gonna stick to 20 or try to get to 20, around 30, around that area. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna stop yapping. So, Jordan's love life. All right. How do I start this? As a lot of you know, I've been always considered the academic weapon, no matter what. And so, since I've been considered the academic weapon, never really, I never really thought about getting into a relationship. So, I've never actually been in a relationship before. Hence why, is that a little ship? But yeah, I've never been in a relationship before. Hence why, how do I like swim, bro? It's not letting me like swim. All right, let me get back up. It's not. Thought that would have been an actual cave, but I guess not. But yeah, since I've never been in a relationship before, and I never thought about getting in a relationship, it's always been because I've been prioritizing my academics. In fact, I used to view relationships as a kind of a distraction because my goal has always been to be top of the class, be the best of the best, strive for consistency, or perfection, just towards that area, that 99, 100% accuracy. Again, we talked about last time how there's a chance that you might get less than that, but ultimately you still strive to be the Stop yelling at me, Brody. So yeah, since that has always been the case for me, at least, I've never really. Alright, I don't like how that's set up. But since that's always been the case for me specifically, I've never, you know, really thought about getting in with a relationship. But things start to change, right? When I get towards college, I become more acclimated with work, and as you get older, I mean, without a doubt, you want to be able to have somebody who likes you for you, and you also want to be able to have the traits to ensure that that happens the way that it's supposed to. Because in life, a lot of people, it's a really great saying that says, "Build you a garden, and eventually you will have butterflies that will come towards your garden." Well, that's pretty much what I have been doing. It seems like forever, which is always building my garden. And then I've gotten my garden to such a substantially great point that it's like, okay, even if I don't even attract the butterflies, I'm still in such a content place in life that I don't really. I'm in such a content place in life that it's not something that I need to force. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people, they want to be able to. Ooh, actually, I'm getting better. But a lot of people, they want to be able to force relationships, and I think that's why a lot of people end up getting in predicaments of. I don't want to say loneliness, but that's pretty much what it boils down to. You're in a relationship, but you're actually lonely within that relationship because you aren't really understanding the person that you're dating. And when you don't understand the person that you're dating, I mean, you're just going to be cooked. You know what I mean? So I think once you get to that point where you're talking to somebody that you don't truly know, you eventually be like, okay, I could do better, and then it's just this endless cycle. But another thing that I want to be able to mention, that I need to mention, is that I have extremely high standards, right? And I believe everybody should have high standards. You should never, ever, do less than what you know that you're capable of doing. And that's not even within relationship, but that could be with everything in general in life, right? You have the capabilities of improving and ensuring that things will work out the way that they're supposed to do with relationships. Then ensure that you get into a relationship with somebody who would be of great substance. And now we're in such a predicament where people would just accept anything, and because people will accept anything, that means people can be anything, and that's just not how it works for me. Another thing that I hold proudly to me is that I have my V card. I'm a virgin, for those who don't know the saying, and I won't date a woman unless she has her as well. A lot of people, they'll end up being judgy. Oh, Jordan, people can change, this, that, and the other. Yeah, that's people can change, but I think we've gotten so deep we've gotten too comfortable in life with allowing people to just do with it whatever, and then we just accept whatever because it is whatever, and it shouldn't be that case. It shouldn't be, oh well, whatever. It should be, oh well, my actions have consequences, and as men, if anything, that's something that we must take into account. And it's kind of funny too, because you have those guys in life where it's like, oh well, I would never date a woman who has talked to somebody, stuff like, ooh, that's a cave over there, I'm going to relocate over there. But you have these people who be like, oh, I would never date a woman because she has this many bodies, and it's like, bro, chacho, you're in the same predicament. If anything, when a woman can say to you, well, you got bodies, this, that, and the other, so I don't want to date you as well. That could go the same case back and forth. And I mean, is it a problem with doing it? Absolutely not. You should be able to choose who you want to be able to spend the rest of your life with. And that's a bigger concept. We're not talking about somebody who you you deem attractive. You know, you can have several attractive women, but or not saying you can have very or several attractive women, but there could be various several attractive women, and you just get cooked because I mean you're just going to get cooked, you know, because you decide to date the most gorgeous woman instead of the woman that has great substance. And again, a lot of people are going to learn soon enough, but just because a woman is beautiful, a lot of men, they really want peace more than anything else. And me, oh, peace has to be a number one priority for me. What on earth was that noise? Okay. Why does it sound like a choker, bro? A choker, though? We're definitely near a cave because of the stuff that's going on there, but it's interesting. I wasn't expecting for them to. If I hear a choker, or am I tripping? Does that not sound like a choker? But yeah, so all I have to say is just have some standards, guys. You know, standards is a great thing. It's a great way to be able to, you know, recognize a lot of the stuff that's going on and happening. And I tell everybody all the time, hey man, you could do better, you know, especially when I know that they're capable of doing it. But a lot of people, they end up getting desperate, and once they end up getting desperate, I mean, you get put into this predicament of, dang, bro, why me, and we have to be careful with what we do and what we wish for, stuff like that. All right, let's do this. I could have sworn there was more around me, but I want to be able to hear where they're at. Sounds like they're over here at least. If I'm able to find where they're at, this is good for me. Sounds like they're above me now. Don't do this at home, kids. Am I tripping? He's definitely above me. You know what? I just think maybe it's not meant for me to find this and I should go to the other cave. But do I really want to go to the other cave? No, I would love to be able to figure out where are all of these things happening, or, you know, what's going on here. What is that? Block of raw iron. Bro, they just add so much stuff to this game that, like, continually makes no sense, bro. But yeah, so amongst all other things, y'all understand why I'm not within a relationship. I think it's pretty good. Oh, what's good, buddy? Alright. Alright, we're finally in a cave. I want to be extremely careful, man. There's something about these I'm telling y'all, man, there's something about these skeletons, bro. They really be scaring me, bro. Oh my goodness. I accidentally just fell down, bro. Luckily they're like somewhat friendly. Alright. So this is a good spot that we're gonna start at. Alright, hold on. Let's lock in here. Let's make base here. I'm low key liking this spot. My bad for the story time, guys. I do get a little bit sidetracked, you know, trying to ensure that I don't die in the first episode again, cause you know, kind of trash at this, like really trash at this. Like back in my OG Minecraft days, like I used to be something else, but it's not the same case anymore. You know what I mean? I know the first thing that I'm going to do though is make a shield so I can be able to kill these skeletons, stuff like that. And I mean, you know, then I know we'll be chilling, you know, that type of thing. Wait, did I ever pick up my bed? Yes, I did. Alright, making sure. But yeah, so let's get back into the story. Again, I have extremely high standards. I won't date a woman unless, well, for starters, she has to not have had intercourse with anybody else. Um, I want me a very erudite woman. You know, I don't want me to have a woman who's just has no substance, who can't even keep a conversation. Because then I'll ask, why are you doing these things that are illogical? And I'm a very logical person. So the moment that kind of happens, I'm you know, be kind of shaking my head a little bit, like kind of like scratching it. Like, okay, what are we doing? You know, that type of stuff right there. Want to have this right here. Gotta have that food. Hold on. I know I can make me another furnace too, bro. Where's the furnaces at? Alright, let's place you here. Let's cook up some food. All right. Why are you hitting me, buddy? I thought we were friends. Can I place? All right, there we go. All right, and then let's do this, this. All right, let's eat some food. Let's regroup, and then do this. Oh. See what y'all know about this, bro. Hit. Now come on up. Boom. All right. We're back at we're back. We're back. Chat, we're back. We're back. Do that. There's another one? I mean, do we have a spawner near me? Hello? You know what, bro? Y'all got it, bro. I'm not gonna even peek over there. And I hear a zombie. Baby zombie, bro. Yo, why is hardcore like actually hard, bro? This should not be this difficult, man. I've never... Hardcore was never this hard back in the day. Okay, well, that explains where the rest of them go. You know what? I'm just going to take my loot, and I'm going to go back to where I was at, you know what I mean? We're going to let bygones be bygones. But, yeah. I had to lock in there, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm not up to the par of the game yet to where I'm just able to talk and play without dying, especially in hardcore. Maybe once I get you know, enough, maybe once I get enough armor, stuff like that would be able to work out. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get towards my little corner like I normally do, and then have my little yap session the way that I normally do it. I don't know how I get down, so let's place this here. We got iron. We got some steak. Now let's make us his chest plate. That's the first thing we need to make. Place that here. And then, okay, we should be able to cook up, I believe. All right, so it's F4. There we go. All right, boom. I don't know why my character even looks like this. It's garbage. So let's dwindle this down, lock in, and then actually talk about what we're going to be doing. All right. So we talking about relationships, things like that. Again, we're just going to reiterate, and then we're going to lock in here. So first things first, I've never been within a relationship at all. In my 21 years, never been within a relationship. I've always been, the academic weapon. I've always been let's just prioritize this specifically. And why is that? Because I've always been the person where it's okay, what in life is going to ensure that I'm going to be successful? And no matter what, I knew academics was going to always be the way. And I've always been taught to keep my eyes focused on the task, don't veer off. I've seen way too many people do it, and because of it, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to just be real. That's just the way that I'm thinking. That's the way that it's going to be. And I don't think that I don't think it would be illogical for me to not think that way. You know what I mean? That's the first thing. Second thing is, guys, even within like the different talking stages and things of that nature, I've just learned a lot about women that kind of makes me scratch my head. You kind of get towards this constant conundrum of, okay, I like you, but you end up getting rejected for being a great guy. Or how I view it is, since I'm a great guy, since a woman knows that I'm not going to treat them wrong, or I'm not going to cheat on them, or X, Y, and Z. In fact, they just don't want to talk to me, which is fine. I would rather, get the idiots out the way. If we're just being real, to me, that's pretty idiotic. Why would you not take the stock that you know is going to have 100% increase compared to a stock that you're trying to invest in that doesn't have that probability of making it work? I mean, it's just things like that that makes you wonder. So that's why I can't really get upset, because it's like, okay, well, God is preventing me from dealing with some women, but at the same time, it's like, dang, where are the women that's supposed to be for me? And I'm a big person on not trying to be insane or just think about things logically. I'm not going to constantly do the same thing over and over again and expect the same result. And I just think that's kind of what it is right now. Is you constantly talk to a woman and you learn things about them. It's either you swallow something down because you learn something from their past that you don't like, or I mean, it's just pretty much that you just end up swallowing it. You know what I mean? Or you get those women who say, "Oh, well, Jordan, you're too good for me," so they end up lying about stuff, and because they end up lying instead of them being real upfront, it just wastes so much time. So it's such a large investment on something that isn't guaranteed. You know what I mean? You invest so much in it. You just invest, and guess what? The stock just drop, and it's like, bro, what else does a brother have to do? You know what I mean? Like I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. Again, going back to the analogy I talked about earlier, building that garden. I fear that I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to build that garden so well enough, so beautiful, that I don't even care about the butterflies. Well, what do you mean by that, Jordan? Well, I'm constantly improving on myself with my cognitive, ensuring that my decision making is always A1. I'm making sure that my looks are good, whether it's haircut, growing my hair out, just being the best version of me in the physical realm of things. And then even when I go to the gym, I love my body and how it looks now, but I'm always looking for improvement. When I'm in the gym, and I'm always looking for strength, I can be able to protect my future woman and things like that. And there's just so much more things, and above all else, just my relationship with the Lord, ensuring that that's right. And once I ensure that my relationship with the Lord is right, I believe that no matter what, everything else will work out the way that it's supposed to. So that's why I can't be too, I can't be too upset because my mentality is everything works for a reason. But it just makes you wonder, even in the back of your head, am I doing things right? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Because I believe that a lot of the issues that goes on now is that you have these people who want to be within a relationship but they're broken, or they want to be within a relationship but they don't know how to improve themselves first to ensure that when they're within the relationship they won't lead their woman down the wrong path as well, because you normally have a lot of sheep shepherding other sheep. You don't have a shepherd leading the sheep. You get my drift? You got sheep that just follows other sheep, but you don't have that shepherd that's guiding the sheep. And that could be a bad analogy because in no regard, and I'm saying my woman is a sheep. But what I'm saying is that as a man, as a leader of the household, when that time comes, you want to ensure that you are the man that you're supposed to be for the woman that you expect to lead. Because then that would be injustice if you're a bad man and you're leading women down the wrong path. And then that becomes another situation as well within relationships. You're dealing with women who have in the back of their mind, well, all men are bad, all men are stupid, this, that, and the other because of what happened in their previous relationship, or they're stuck on somebody else. And that just shouldn't be the case. You know, I believe that when it comes down to relationships, you everybody should have a clean slate. But the things that happen to you in your previous relationship should not dictate the way that you move in the relationship that you are in, because these are two totally different people. And I'm seeing it way too many times. Oh, well, I can't talk anymore because what happened in the past relationship. You talk about two different men. Men move different ways. They maneuver different ways and things like that. And because of that, you should be able to recognize that the guy that you're going or that you're talking to, the man that he is, the actions, the way that he carries himself, the way that he moves, his actions. Like, your actions speak louder than words, so go based off your actions. And it sucks, don't get me wrong, that people go through predicaments and things of that sort. So, you talk to a couple women and it's literally, oh, well, he told me he would do this thing, but turns out it's something else. You shouldn't get caught up in the speak. Get caught up in the actions. Are the actions meaning what they say? If they aren't, then it's not genuine. It's what that person can get in the end of the day. But it's really hard because, and I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, but it seems like that I'm receiving leftovers when I'm not even being provided a fair chance at a full course meal. That's a great analogy. I like the way that I put it. That I put it there is, now it's me just, it seems like I'm just talking to people who are ran through. And then you get these egos when you're ran through. It's like, okay, you want me to make all of this stuff work out for you, and you can't do the bare minimum. And don't get me wrong, people change, people become pure. Well, that's objective, that, or excuse me, subjective. That depends on what the purity that we're referring to. But people can change. That's what I'm saying, right? People can change. People can end up becoming better than they were previously. And once they end up doing that, then I mean, hey, go about your day, and hopefully you're able to get a person who's also changed as well. There are men out there who's willing to take you after you changed. I'm not that person, because in my humble opinion, I believe that too many women do that today, where they exploit the grace of the Lord and, oh, well, the Lord has all this grace for me, so now I can make some changes. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna be real with you. You might have some guys who will go for that, and that's perfectly fine. That's the relationship that you have with you and your significant other. But I think being able to have boundaries, that's something that you gotta be able to have. You gotta be able to have boundaries that you set. And when I refer to boundaries, I mean preferences of who you decide to date. Because the truth is, if you have all of these preferences, well, not preferences, but thresholds that people must reach, or people have already reached, I think that you get past all the BS early on. A lot of you, like, if you become too tolerable, you're going to have to deal with a lot of BS. But if you are too picky, then I mean, you're going to have one every 10,000 women or something like that. We're just coming up with examples, stuff like that. But I mean, I just think that there's some things to be taken into account. And once you take those into account, ultimately that will subject you to your decision on who you decide to pick. So, if that's pretty much it, that's kind of why I don't have a relationship. Again, I've had several talking stages with a couple of women, but it all just ends to the same thing where for me, I find something about them that I don't really like, that I don't really respect. And that just goes back towards another thing, which is honor. As a man, men should have honor. They have honor in the way that they move. They have honor in the way that they act. They have honor in the things that they, put on a trophy. I'm not going to say idolize, because idolize, you don't idolize anybody except for the Lord. But yeah, that's kind of my mindset with how everything is and how everything moves. I didn't want this video to be long. It is 2 in the morning. Your boy gotta go to bed. But in the next episode, we're probably gonna keep deep digging deep inside that cave. Hopefully, be able to get iron to get full iron armor. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get a lot of this stuff on and out the way, because this episode and the previous episode was just me mining. I know y'all want me to probably do some other stuff as far as like farming or making a house. Like, y'all talk to me in the description down below. Not only about what y'all want me to do within Minecraft, but furthermore, just not only what you want me to do in Minecraft, but whatever would be the next topic as well. And then, even then, like, we're talking about relationships now, but if you want me to go even further in depth with some of the things that we've talked about in today's episode, we can most definitely do that. Y'all just have to be able to let me know where y'all want me to talk about. I just want to say thank you so much for the support. No matter what, I'm going to continue to go, whether it's one viewer, whether it's 1,000, whether it's 10,000, no matter what. I'm going to continue to keep going. I'm going to continue to keep striving, because in life, you have to either increase sacrifice or reduce your desire. That's pretty much how it is. And I'm willing to sacrifice a lot in order for me to reach the goals, because I only got one life, and I'm going to make sure that I'm going to live this life to the best of its capabilities. Love you all. Y'all make sure to keep the Lord first. Talk to me in the description down below. And finally, another thing I want to be able to talk about. I do have members on this channel. We have 2 members on this channel. If you're willing to spend, I think it's $2 or $5, whatever the case may be, and you want to show extra support, admiration, I I'm very thankful no matter what, just for you watching this video all the way to the end at that. But if you want to be able to show more support, y'all feel free to do that. But I love you all. Y'all make sure to keep God first. Continue to keep striving in life. Continue to be the best version of yourself that you could be, that I know you can be. And continue to put a smile on somebody's face every single day. Because if you could be that light for somebody in the darkness that surrounds them, be that torch. You see that torch that's beside me? Be that torch. Be that light for them so they can see. Love y'all, though. I'll catch y'all on the flip. See ya.